Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here today. Yeah, if you read the title, you're like, really, Chelsea? And if you're not new here, you're really like, really, Chelsea? I know. So my last video about my piercings was after I got my helix pierced, and that has been like a year and a half. I don't even know when I got my helix pierced at this point. And that was my 14th piercing, or my 14th piercing that I still have. So it was my 14th piercing, and I told you guys I was done. There was absolutely nothing else that I was going to allow myself to get, and I lied. Sorry. So if you guys haven't already noticed, if you're not new here, if you haven't already noticed, you probably should notice pretty quickly what's new about my piercing scape here. So I got my other nostril pierced. Let's just go ahead and say I got my other nostril pierced. So the thing is, I have been thinking about this piercing for a while. Literally shortly after I said that I wasn't going to get any more piercings, I started to realize that this is going to sound ridiculous, and I understand this is going to sound ridiculous, but every time I went to take photos, I'm so used to my nose piercing that it feels like a part of my face, if that makes sense. Like, it feels like it's supposed to be there and it's been there always, but it hasn't. It's only been there about 10 years. But when I went to take pictures, I would only take pictures from this side because this is the side that felt right to me and I liked it more in photos. And so I started to call my right side my bad side, but it's actually not a bad side. I don't think that I don't have bad sides, let's just say that. But I like to be able to see a nose ring in my photos, especially with like all of my ear piercings. I like the concept of seeing all the piercings, and when I turned this way, you couldn't see my nose ring. This sounds like a ridiculous reason, I understand. And then I started to see so many people with the double nose piercing, and I thought that it was so cute, especially the combination of a small stud and a hoop. Right? So I started thinking about it. I started saving photos of it, like trying to make myself not want it. I even got to the point where I would wear like a stud in my actual piercing and like a fake hoop, and I loved the look of it. Now obviously this is switched right now, but I just couldn't stop thinking about it. I kept telling people that I was thinking about getting it, and it had been like over a year now that I had been thinking about this piercing, even though I said that I was done. Because it had been so long since I had my nose pierced, I actually couldn't remember what the healing process was like or anything like that, and so I continued to talk myself out of it, but still thought about it all the time. And when I say all the time, I mean all the time. Like, this piercing had a literal chokehold on me. Like, I wish you could see my saved albums or my Pinterest. I have so many videos, so many photos of people with the double nostril piercing. So I finally decided to go ahead and do it, and the day that I was gonna make my appointment to get my double nose piercing, we had like freaking tornadoes. Like, at one point there was like 18 tornado warnings, not watches, warnings at a time. And so my piercer closed that day, and like my work was closed. Like, most of the city was closed that day, so I wasn't able to get the piercing. So I went ahead and did a walk-in about a week ago. Like, this piercing's about a week old now. So I did a walk-in, and when I got there, she's of course like, oh my god, I hadn't seen you in a while. And she asked me how my last piercing healed, and she also did my conch over here. So and something else. She did something else, but I can't remember like what was the other thing that she did. So I told her what I wanted to do. So she took a minute. She told me it was going to take her about 20 minutes to line it up to make sure that it was even, because she really wanted to be as symmetrical as possible. I mean, granted, the face, like most faces are not perfectly symmetrical because of all kind of reasons, including the way that you sleep. So it did take her a while to get it exactly in the perfect spot that she wanted, and I had to do a lot of like moving my head around or whatever. So I did go ahead and get it pierced. This is a different piercing than I've ever had to start. Well, that's not what I meant. This is a different piercing than the way that I started my original nose piercing. So this one is a flat. It has a flat back, and it actually is it the snap in, the push in, that's what I mean. It is a push in. it is titanium and it is 18 gauge. Now I originally had a 16 gauge over here in this nostril, but 16 gauge looks a little ridiculous in the nose if you ask me, and so I haven't worn 16 gauge jewelry in years, and so my nostril has shrunk. Sometimes I even wear 20 gauge because I like the look of a smaller piece of jewelry in the nose. So I do have 18 gauge, like 3/16, something like that in this nostril. And guys, I don't know what it is about this particular piercer, like ever since I've switched over to her, but it is absolutely everything that she's ever done for me has been painless. I don't understand. And oddly, the first time I got my nose pierced and then I had to get it re-pierced because I let it close, my eye did not water, even though they say that the eye waters every time you get a nose piercing, your eye waters. But this time it watered, but when it watered is the only way I realized that she had actually pierced my nose. Like, I actually did it. Like, I thought, this is what I thought, because like usually when they're lining up you can kind of feel the needle, so I thought that that was just what I felt. I didn't even really feel her like doing the pressure. Now the thing for me, even though lots of the initial piercings don't hurt, putting the jewelry in is a little bit uncomfortable. So when she told me she was doing that, I felt that. But as far as the piercing itself, I didn't feel it, and it has only been a week, but I only feel pain when I accidentally do stuff, and I only accidentally do things because I forget it's there. Like, I'll accidentally vigorously wipe my nose and then be like, oh, there's a fresh hole in my face, or things like that. I have been wearing makeup, but I am not wearing, you can kind of see this too, like you can literally see that there's no makeup in this part of my nose. So I have been avoiding any kind of makeup or anything, and I've been cleaning it by the instructions that she specifically gives. I've been using, of course, the saline that I show you guys all the time, so I've been using saline, and it has been really easy breezy. Actually, I've forgotten so much to the point that I just sleep on this side too sometimes, and it never gets sore or anything like that. So it has been super easy, and I really enjoy the look of it. Like, I really like this stud hoop combination along with all the other pieces of jewelry that I have going on. So I just wanted to update you guys and let you know that although I said that I wasn't going to get another piercing, I got another piercing. So yeah. So this is piercing number 15. I hope you guys are doing well. I know that I'm very sporadic in my posting. I think that's just how it's gonna have to be. If you guys want to follow me somewhere where I'm a little bit more consistent, I did just start a TikTok, and because TikTok is a little bit easier and doesn't take as much of a time commitment, I seem to be doing that more consistently. So I will link below my TikTok if you guys want to say what's up. I would love to see you guys over there, but I hope you are well, and I will see you in the next video, whatever and whenever that may be. Love you guys so much.